talking about the Rusalka, the mythical Slavic mermaid. The Rusalka is something akin to the Celtic mermaid or the Greek siren. In short, the Rusalka are beautiful young women who dwell in bodies of water and enjoy enticing men. The concept of Rusalka originated from a Slavic pagan tradition where the young women were symbols of fertility. These nymphs did not interfere too much with human life and mainly served to provide life-giving moisture to the fields and forests every spring when they came ashore to dance in the spring moonlight. The water spirits were believed to help crops grow plentifully and so were generally treated with respect. In the modern era, a large mythos, mostly unrelated to fertility, has sprung up around the beguiling young women of the water. By the 19th century, the main objective of Rusalka has transformed into harassing the human population. Why the pagan word nymph occurs naturally, the mermaid Rusalka has quite varied. Typically, they involve young women dying violent deaths. Sometimes it is murder, sometimes it is suicide, but usually it is a death by drowning. Stories of Rusalka often revolve around women betrayed by a husband or lover. Some Rusalka are young women who jumped into a lake or river because she was pregnant out of wedlock. Other origin stories say a Rusalka is any young woman who died a virgin, regardless of whether the death was violent or natural. Still, other myths say that babies who died before being baptized are reborn as water sprites. This version ties into the idea that babies born out of wedlock were supposedly drowned. Finally, some myths claim that a Rusalka is any unclean soul, in other words, anyone who killed himself or herself by jumping into the lake or river. Many Rusalka were said to have finite lives. These souls linger on in water until their allotted time on earth is complete. Others must remain until their death is avenged. Rusalka haunts lakes, rivers, ponds, marshes, swamps, and other bodies of water. They are often described as being slim with large breasts. They are pale-skinned and have long, loose hair that is either blonde, light brown, or green. Their eyes are said to not contain pupils, and if the Rusalka is wicked, can be blazing green. The women wear light sheer robes as they made of mist. Rusalka are representations of universal beauty, and even the wicked ones are greatly admired and feared in Slavic societies. The motivations of a Rusalka varies depending on where she is living, a fact that may have its root in the ancient pagan myth. For in place where plant life is bountiful and crops grow well, such as Ukraine and areas around the Danube River, the Rusalka are charming and playful. However, in harsher climes, the Rusalka are wild and wicked. These malevolent spirits would crawl out of the water in the middle of the night in order to ambush humans, especially men, who they would then drag alive back into the watery depths. Rusalka weak? Unlike fishtail mermaids, Rusalka have legs and can walk on land. They enjoy dancing and climbing in trees. Every year at the beginning of summer, around the first week of June, Slavic cultures celebrate Rusalka Week. During this time, swimming in many bodies of water is absolutely forbidden, as it means certain death. The Rusalka are believed to come ashore to play in the weeping willow and swing in birch trees. Then they gather together to perform circle dances under the moonlight. Any passerby who should have the misfortune of witnessing one of these events is forced to dance with them until he dies. At the end of the week, towns and villagers near bodies of water hold ceremonial burials in order to appease the Rusalka and or banish them back into the water. These traditions are maintained well into the 1930s until they were stamped out by Soviet forces. Rusalka poems. The Rusalka feature many Russian and Slavic artworks, including paintings, operas, and novels. One of the most renowned homages to a Rusalka was written by Alexander Pushkin. The poem, published and entitled Rusalka by his estate, given a good depiction of how Rusalka are imagined in Slavic culture. In lakeside leafy grove, a friar escaped the world out there he passed his summer days in constant prayers, deep studies, and eternal fast. Already with a humble shovel, the elder dug himself a grave, and calling saints to bless his hoel. Death, nothing other did he crave. So once upon a falling night he bowed down beside his drooping shack and meekly prayed to the Almighty. The grove was turning slowly black. Above the lake the mist was lifting. Through milky clouds across the skies, a ruddy moon was swiftly drifting. When water drew the friar's eyes, he looks. His heart is full of trouble, of fear he cannot quite explain. He sees the waves rise more than double, and suddenly grow calm again. Then white as first snow of the highlands, light-footed as nocturnal shade, there comes ashore and sit in silence upon the bank a naked maid. He looks at him and brushes gently the hair and water of her arms. She shakes with fear and looks intently at her seductive, luscious charm. With eager hand she waves and beckons, nods quickly, smiling from afar, and shoots with 2 flashing seconds into still water like a star. The glum old man slept not an instant, all night, all day, not once he prayed. Before his eyes still hung and glistened the wondrous girl's persistent shade. The grove puts on the gown of nightfall. The moon walks on the cloudy floor, and there's the maiden, young, delightful, reclining on the spellbound shore. She looks at him, her hair she brushes, smiles, sending him kisses sweet and wild, plays with the waves, caresses, splashes, now laughs, now whimpers like a child, moans tenderly, calls louder, louder, here monk, to me, then vanished into limpid water, and all is silent instantly. On the 3rd day, the ardent hermit was sitting on the shore in love, awaiting the voluptuous mermaid, as shade was lying on the grove. Night ceded to the sun emergence. By then the monk has disappeared. It said a crowd of local urchins saw floating there a wet gray beard. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. That was the Rusalka, the Slavic mermaid. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you guys have any recommendations or anything like that, comments, questions, concerns, just let me know down below. I love y'all so much. Thank you for showing all the love on this channel. Showing all the love and hate on this channel, I should say. And I appreciate every single one of you guys for watching and showing support and giving me helpful tips and stuff like that. I love y'all. I'm just trying to get better with every one of these. So whatever I can do to better make videos for you guys, I will do for you guys. I love y'all. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next video.